Hey, so I just had some thoughts this morning. I'm just going to walk here a little bit while I'm talking. Hopefully you can see me okay. Anyway, just the thought of if we don't step out and do something different, how are we going to get something different in our lives? So I want to just give you an example. There was a time when my husband and I were going through some things in our marriage, and he was just okay. There, I'm back. Looks like the connection was getting poor. Anyway, so he was just at a difficult time in his life, and we both actually were. It's just not one-sided at all, but I knew that I couldn't continue that way. Like, I remember talking to God and just saying, God, I don't want to do life this way anymore. And so I was asking him what to do about it, because you know how sometimes you're not sure what the next step is. And sometimes when a step comes, you're like, oh, it couldn't be that one. Like, God wouldn't want me to do that. Okay. And so anyway, I had been asking the Lord what to do. And this particular morning, I was even more serious about doing something and wanting a change. And so I said, so Lord, what do you want me to do about this situation in our marriage? And then I just got quiet and I listened. And the only thing that I heard or sensed in my heart was to pack my bags. Well, that can be like, okay, yeah, I can do that. But for one thing, I didn't want a divorce, like I didn't want to leave my husband or my family. And two, I either had 10 kids or I had 9 and was pregnant with the 10th. And so something like packing your bags can seem kind of like, are you serious, God? Is this what you want me to do? But I knew that if I didn't do something, nothing would change. And so I did that. I stepped out. I packed my bags, okay? And at the time, he was gone. He had taken the kids somewhere. And then I knew, he'd be returning by noon or something. So when he got home, he asked me what I was doing because he saw my bag there. And I said, well, I'm leaving. I said, I don't want a divorce, but I just can't do life like this anymore. And so anyway, he was like, okay, kind of like, how cool is that? And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not like super confident in this, except for this is what I feel like I need to do. And he just said, you stay, I'll go. Okay. So I was like, okay, I wasn't at a point of wanting to fight about anything. And so I was just like, okay, then you go, but something's got to change here. Well, at the time we had a place out of town, just like an hour out. And that's where he went for a few days. I don't remember. It wasn't a long time. It was less than a week. But it was a step. And I think with me having my bag packed, he knew I was serious, that some change needed to happen. But he did after a few days. He came back home and from then, things started to change. He still, worked in the oil field after a while after that and was gone more than he was home for a season, about a year and a half or so. But I guess what I'm saying is that sometimes God will ask us to do things that seem totally against everything we've maybe known. And I think of the stories of what God asked Abraham to do, to offer Isaac as a sacrifice. And, Abraham could have been like, no way, I'm not, that's not good or whatever. But because he obeyed, it's that simple obedience. It's not all the drama around it, So like me packing my bags, I could have thought, oh no, this means divorce, this means this means that. But it didn't have to mean that. I just had to simply obey, pack my bag, and then just trust that God would do and show me what the next thing was then. Because sometimes we're in a spot where we don't want to stay, but if we don't do something totally different, and especially the thing that God's telling you to do, even if it's scary, then we never get the change that our hearts are desiring in our lives. And so another story is when God told Moses to go back to Pharaoh and get his people out, and Moses, he didn't want to go back. That was a place where he had killed one of the servants, and and he could have been killed himself. But he obeyed, and look at what God did. So I just want to say too, because look what God has done in my marriage, because I took the step of obedience even when it was scary and hard, and I didn't know what was on the other side of that. But with God, it's always this or something better. And so my marriage is better than it's ever been. Just everything's flourishing, everything's growing, moving forward. And so anyway, I just had that on my heart to share with you this morning. And I just want to encourage you, if you're in a spot where you need to make some decisions and do something different, even if it's scary, just step out and do it. And a lot of times our thoughts can cause drama with things that don't need to be. And so I'm a life coach, and I help people work with their limiting thoughts and mindsets and help them move forward. And so anyway, I hope you enjoy your day, and leave a comment, message me, let me know what step you're contemplating or needing to make or do, what change, so that you get some different results. And maybe it's hiring a life coach. Anyway, have a great day. Love you. Bye. Let me find how to shut this off.